my name is Renee Thompson, and I own RT Connections, a company that educates, connects, and inspires current and future nurses. So this is my bullying Q&A video series where I get to answer your questions about nurse and nurse bullying. And so I want to share with you a question that a nurse sent me. She asked this. She said, "Dear Renee, I work with a mean and nasty nurse who's always screaming and yelling at everyone. She doesn't care who's around, patients, their families, doctors, etc. What can I do when she's screaming and yelling at me?" You know, that's a good question. So I first want to talk about this type of bullying behavior. So in my book, I describe two different types of behavior, and that's overt and her ugly stepsister, covert behavior. In overt behavior, these are easier to observe. You can be objective in describing the behavior, and pretty much everybody would describe it in the same way. For example, yelling and screaming. If somebody has a temper tantrum and they're jumping up and down, you can see that and you would all describe it in the same way. Covert behavior, these are more difficult to figure out. They're more subtle. For example, I love this thing that I read that describes the difference between overt and covert. So overt is I walk up to you and slap you in the face. Covert is I tickle your face with a feather and you slap yourself. So those are sort of just a quick difference between overt and covert behavior. So what this nurse is dealing with here is an overt bully. And I recommend two strategies to deal with an overt bully. The first strategy is very simple. Just name the behavior. So for example, you could say to the bully while she's screaming at you, "You are yelling and screaming at me in the nurse's station." Or you could say, "You are criticizing me in front of other people." You know what? Sometimes just naming the behavior can sort of act as a defibrillator to stop the bully from continuing. The second strategy, especially if the bully continues, is to just walk away. So here's the thing I want to tell you about overt bullies. They kind of love to perform. They love an audience. So when they're standing there in front of other people and they're in your face and they're screaming and yelling at you, it's like they're on stage. It's like they're doing a performance. You take away the audience, you take away the performance. So just walk away. So those are two strategies that you can start doing right now if you're dealing with an overt bully. I really want to thank this nurse for reaching out to me. And for those of you who are watching, please send me your questions. I always respond directly to you. And if I choose to answer your question in a video series, I promise I won't use your name or your location. So to get more help with nurse bullying, consider purchasing my book, attending one of my seminars that I do across the country, or just subscribe and follow me on my various social media platforms where I spend a lot of my time writing about bullying. I write articles, I have this video series, I blog, I do tweet chats. So what I want you to do is to remember this. You deserve to work in a supportive and nurturing environment, free from the bullies. Thanks so much for listening. Take care and stay connected.